What is nostalgia? Derived from the Greek words nostos, meaning homecoming, and algos, meaning sorrow or despair. These words combined gives us nostalgia. So what does it really mean? Well, nostalgia is simple. It's a feeling of longing for the good old days, or a nicer time, wanting to relive old experiences and the fun and enjoyment that it brought you. Reminiscing of a simpler time where you could go ignore your responsibilities you never had because you were younger, or you probably didn't know any better. In terms of Roblox, it's wanting to re-experience a simpler time, a time of bad graphics, explosion-heavy games, and poor physics. Not a time overrun by graphic-heavy games that'll make your graphics card explode, anime beat-em-ups, copy-pasted microtransaction-infested clicker games, and whatever type of game this is. Ink. Is that all it is? I get ink trails for 1 in 700. I don't even know or understand what the point of this game is. It's just a title. It has no functionalities other than flexing your luck. But newer modern Roblox isn't entirely bad. There's some well-established games made within the last couple of years. The UI has changed a lot. Some changes are good, other changes are not so good. Community has gotten older, and gameplay for most games has changed a lot, but is it better now? Or has Roblox changed so much that it's lost its charm? Disclaimer, this is all my opinion, and it is just my own thoughts on why I feel part of the Roblox community may feel divided between old and modern Roblox. This isn't intended on shaming the Roblox that we have now. It's more just diving into the debate of old Roblox versus new Roblox. Firstly, before I get started, what is Roblox? Well, if you've never heard of it, Roblox is a platform where creators can build, design, and create whatever they want in a blocky or realistic style. Creators can post their creations to the Roblox site for everyone to play, unless the game is 18+, but I'll discuss that another time. The creation is limitless, you can really build whatever you want. Roblox is primarily targeted towards children, but it's open for players of all ages, really. It has games and content pretty much for everyone. There's even dedicated games for reliving old Roblox experiences. But why do they exist? And what makes people want to create these old Roblox games? Why do people want to relive this old Roblox experience? What makes old Roblox feel nostalgic? When I first started playing Roblox, I didn't have an account. Back then, you could play Roblox as a guest. For people who didn't play Roblox back then, you may not know what a guest is. A guest is just a player who hasn't made an account yet. Usually, when a person joins a game without an account, they would choose between a boy guest or a girl guest. Both characters are pretty identical in their design, with the boy having a cap and the girl having a pinkish purple ponytail with a slimmed down figure. In game, they would be labeled as guest, then a certain number follows between 0 and 9999. They couldn't talk, but they could use Roblox's built-in chat feature that would give them small ways to talk and interact with people. I remember logging on to my first ever Roblox game. I played Welcome to Roblox Building. In Welcome to Roblox Building, it was simple. You have a small base plate and a lobby of 9 players where you can just build, and sometimes, if you felt like it, you could spawn in these giant spike towers and destroy the bottom of it so that it would possibly fall and kill other players in the lobby, or the robot helper, which would just destroy random blocks that aren't on base plates. The game itself was simple and fun. You just build, and if you were lucky enough to build enough blocks on your plate, you would get a golden statue of yourself in the lobby so that everyone can see that you've built the most blocks on your base plate. Oh, there was also a car in the game. It didn't provide much gameplay, but it was just there. Comparing that game to the games that I play on Roblox now, it's like night and day. The games I play now are fully developed, They have complex structure to them. They're well thought out. They have amazing game design aspects to them. So why do I feel the need to relive the good old days? Why do I miss old Roblox so much? I do prefer playing these newer games. They have so much content and replayability, but they're missing something that old Roblox had. Charm. Old Roblox had, in my opinion, very janky and clunky mechanics. To my knowledge, playing Roblox without shift lock, which essentially just locks your camera in third person view, was terrible. I used to use the arrow keys to look around until I learned that you could use a mouse as a camera in games. Finding that out was monumental for my tiny 9-year-old brain. I could move the camera and my player at the same time. I made my account back in 2011, but I remember playing it about 2 years before that. So I experienced 2009 Roblox roughly more or less. Which back then, you couldn't just move your character with the mouse. You could click the floor, and there was an option to just move your character with your mouse only. I don't know why anyone would prefer that, but it was an option. In 2009, Roblox was advanced for its time. It had a nice classic game feel to it. Had blocky movement with a somewhat slow engine, but it was fast enough to keep me enticed. I grew up playing Roblox, experiencing every update up until late 2018. I saw the removal of ticks, which was a currency in Roblox that you could just earn by logging onto the website. When I got enough ticks to exchange it for Robux, I did. And I'd freak out having a small amount of Robux just saving up for something. I remember I used to cheap out on my character and only get free cosmetics, and the first thing I bought with Robux wasn't any cosmetic at all. It was just a game pass for a Gatling P in the Plants vs Zombies Battlegrounds game. I just wanted a stronger class in the game really, and it costed me 35 Robux. With my limited amount of Robux, I spent it on a game pass for a single game that is now still alive, but it isn't as big as it once was. Moving on. Roblox changed a lot throughout the years, so really, when I say old Roblox, I mean 2009 to 2018 at a stretch. Back then, Roblox had so many different games, which were all really unique, with some of those games being the same concept of course. Tycoons are an example of this. You get a dropper, you earn money, you buy more droppers, you buy a big building, you earn more money, you buy more dropper, and eventually, you finish the game. I spent at least hundreds of hours on Tycoon games alone. They were nice little distractions. I'll compare the old games with the newer games later on. Now, I'll just discuss why I miss the old versions of Roblox. Roblox back then was great for what it was. It had flaws, of course, but the games and community is really what made it what it was. I could talk way longer about the games I played, but that would take at least 1 week, so I've got to move on to why parts of the Roblox community may feel divided on old Roblox. Firstly, what did old Roblox have? Community events. I'll discuss community events first, as they were a big part of Roblox back then. They were huge, and a lot of players would just log on, simply just to experience the events. They were a staple for most players to have fun with like friends and other players. Starting off this part, I will talk about the egg hunt. The egg hunt back in 2013 was the first Roblox event that I've experienced. I didn't play much, but I remember joining the game and seeing people discussing where the eggs were, which did kill the point of the game, but it was nice to see players helping out other players. The egg hunt back then worked vastly different to the hunt we had this year. Back then, the hunt appeared on a single Roblox map that would have eggs hidden around the map, and what the eggs done was it give you an item in your inventory to wear, and that was it. It doesn't sound like much for most, but imagine waking up on Easter to hunt eggs around the house. Now imagine that, but on Roblox. The egg hunt went on for many years, but it aged and changed throughout the years. Up until 2018, the egg hunt stayed the same with the slight changes, just bringing you to different maps to do tasks and earn rewards. Then, in 2019, the layout changed from just like a single map to go find eggs in different games. This makes it, I guess, a proper type of egg hunt, which isn't actually a bad concept, and one that I quite like. The hunt this year was the same concept, but in my opinion, the prizes you gained from the newer egg hunts just became bland. Finding different eggs to wear as a hat felt nicer, rather than having to earn badges to earn different rewards. It just doesn't seem right. The hunt had 100 participating games, and earning one of the 2 eggs obtainable from this event required 95 badges from those games. The other egg was to be obtained via a gift card from a Walmart or an Asda, which, if you didn't have these in your country, meant you just couldn't get it. Now, for an egg hunt, only having 2 eggs doesn't seem that right to me, though it does take the purpose away from the egg hunt, but I guess since it was called The Hunt, it doesn't mean that it's labeled for egg hunting, so I guess that's fair. Moving on from the egg hunt, we had the Bloxy Awards. The Bloxy Awards, from my memory, was a voting awards show for creators in the community to vote and show their appreciation for their favorite games and creators. I remember watching the 2017 awards, which was the 4th annual Bloxy Awards. From what I can remember, each individual would just vote on who they thought deserved the vote from a select amount of categories. Very simple. Kind of like the Kids' Choice Awards on Nickelodeon, but Roblox. And minus the slime. Watching it felt nice, and seeing the people or person you voted for winning was good. I wasn't able to find any Bloxy Awards from 2022 onwards, but I think it should still be the same concept, maybe just renamed to the Innovation Awards. And now we have the holiday events. This part isn't too long. There wasn't that much about them. They're kind of just special events that come around the time of season. But Roblox had games based on the holidays. Sometimes you would be working in Santa's workshop as an elf for one of them. Or other times you'd be playing dress up in Halloween trying to find spooky badges. But these events always had enough gameplay to keep you enticed up until the end of the season. So really, this was really big for the community, having another place to just play with all your friends, really. Now, moving on from events, I'll discuss all the changes in gameplay, community, and the UI that Roblox has gone throughout the years. Roblox's overall gameplay back then was pretty friendly, and the community was driven on enjoying experiences and making friends along the way. Having followers and an unlimited friend count was a great part of the old Roblox experience. Limiting it to only 200 friends was a criminal move from Roblox Studios. I mean, back then I remember having 2,000 friends added. Now, this doesn't mean I played with all of them, but having that big friend count meant you were popular. And kind of feels the same way as having a high Instagram follower count. Looking at the Roblox community now, it seems a lot more toxic. A big side of this toxicity that I've seen on Roblox is the Roblox anime community, which makes up a pretty big chunk of the Roblox community. Honestly, the Roblox community in some games are just really different, and it isn't really easy to just say the community is toxic as a whole, but saying it's more toxic than it was is for sure correct. Most of the older Roblox community has probably grown up and is changing, while a new community of younger audiences are coming in. There's games that separate them. Looking at the popular games now, you can see that younger audiences play more role-playing games and other things, where the older community will be on other games, more FPS, beat 'em up, and script games. Transitioning into this segment is hard, because we're comparing old to new, when really it's nostalgia versus innovation. I'm always up for innovating a system or a software that needs it, and saying old Roblox needs it is an understatement. Old Roblox was, yes, janky, blocky, glitchy, unsafe, and overall just terrible. So innovating Roblox was inevitable. So let's look at some key things that come to my mind that has changed from my time playing Roblox. The Roblox UI has changed drastically since 2006. When Roblox started out, you were given a very outdated and clunky UI. In terms of looks, it was bare bones, sometimes just lazy. Let's look at the logos first. The Roblox logo, honestly, this bit doesn't affect me too much, but I just want that old Roblox icon back. I mean, look at it. It's just so classy. It's pristine. The old Roblox logo has gone through many changes throughout the years. When I started on Roblox, I started with this logo, and it was nice, and I do miss it. It's so retro and classic. It's all blocky, and having the classic R on it is a nice touch. The Roblox logo didn't really change for a while up until 2018. That's when a big logo change started to happen. We can see the logo is more blocky and less cartoonish. It's more sleek. The current logo we have is just a square, and the title of Roblox is just colorless. I'm gonna stop nitpicking now on the logo and look at actual UI in-game. Let's start off by looking at the backpacks. The Roblox inventory, also known as the backpack, has changed quite a lot in looks and functionality. Back in 2006, the players had a backpack that couldn't hold more than 9 items, and it was grayed out. It had no background. Oh, and it was also, like, placed at the bottom left corner of your screen. Like, not much can be said about this one other than it's just out of the way. Then we have the backpack from 2011. This is the backpack that I started out with. The backpack really has nothing much. You can only hold 9 items still. They changed the design of the backpack so it was at the center of the screen, as well as having a black background with curved edges. Then we have what I feel was the best looking backpack, the 2014 backpack. This one was so... just look at it. It's great. It was more clear as well on where to click to show your entire backpack. The numbers were so cornered. The icons were at its peak. And this is what I'm most used to. You also had an infinite number of space. You could hold as many items as you want now, which was really good. And I don't know why Roblox didn't have this at the very start. Lastly, we have today's backpack. We've somehow gone back in history and returned to the square icons. I hate it. It's just so blocky. And yes, for a blocky game, this one is too blocky for me. You could poke someone's eye out with it. It's poor and lazy. 0 out of 5 stars. The playlist. Back in 2006, it was placed at the top right of your screen. It had a gray transparent background, and each person had a different color for their name, depending on the game, of course. This playlist had no functionality whatsoever. It was just there to display all the players in the game. So pretty standard and pretty basic. Then in 2012, the playlist really was my favorite one. It had basic functions, adding, removing friends. It showed you what rank of Builders Club a person had. As you can see with the playlist, it has nice little arrow indicators. Anything with arrows to show functionality is the best. The playlist from 2014. This year, it changed to basically what we have now. It showed ranks of people. It had more functions than before. You could block people, private message, and report them if you wanted. Then, the current design. It's terrible. Let's be honest, it looks bad. It's just refined, but it doesn't feel right. It has no personality compared to the other ones. It's just a blank and plain canvas. It can look better in the game, if the owner of the game obviously decides to change the colors, but other than that, it's just plain boring. Now, let's take a look at the player mouse. This was the very first mouse. Just look at it, admire it. It had everything. It used to blank out when you could click on something. Had a fantastic design right there. You could also move on click with this version. This was really innovative. The next mouse design. It's smaller, it's tiny compared to the superior sized one. This one turns black when it's hovering on something, and this one wants to feel special, but it's really not. It's basic and boring and feels lifeless. Moving on to the present cursor. We have this. This is what we have. It has some features. It's got fingers. Has fingers. That's about it. It doesn't change the color. It doesn't get bigger. It doesn't become transparent. But at least it has a finger. You can pull things out with this one if you wanted to. The chat. For this bit, there's two things to talk about here. We have the chat bubble, which appeared on top of the player's head. And we have the chat at the top left of your screen. Firstly, the chat bubble. This is the first chat bubble to be released in 2009. These haven't changed much throughout the years. As you can see, they're all somewhat similar with slight differences. Usually a form of smooth edges, text size, font, and a border. So there's not too much you can talk about this on this part, but this is the present bubble that we have, and this is the chat bubble we had in 2009, so there is some evolution here. Honestly, I kind of like it. This is a good change. I like this change. Moving on to the chat design. Looking at them, you can see the little chat bubble icon, and some of you may be wondering what this button is. Well, this is actually a pre-made chat function in Roblox. I remember this was usable by guests in game, as guests weren't able to use the real chat feature. It was removed in 2014 and was apparently called the super safe chat. But this meant after the removal of this feature, guests couldn't talk to anyone anymore. Now finally, the chat box itself. Starting off with the first chat box. This chat box was used for a while. It was pretty standard. White text background, same colored names as the player list. This one was simple, but you didn't have any special features on it. Here's the next one from 2013. Same concept of text, but now it's transparent. And finally, our current chat system. This one is the most advanced. It has chat filtering, you can mute players on it, there's private messaging, and it tells you when your friend is joined. It's pretty advanced. I prefer this chat out of all the previous ones. Honestly, another really good change that the Roblox UI has had. The menu system. Honestly, I'm glad this wasn't the first menu system that I played with. I feel like I would have hated having to look at this monstrosity to find the menu's features. Like, it's just a nav bar. There's no cool frames on it, and there's no sliding, no function. It's just there. It's irritating to look at. It's at the top left of your screen, and it's just terrible. This one is slightly better, while being worse. Look at it. I don't even want to mention that the health bar is in the middle of the menu. It's honestly spread all over the place. I feel like I need to have Sid's eyes just to look at it properly. Thankfully, it didn't last long until they finally added an actual menu system. The old menu was standard, showing you settings, restart your character, leave game, and the basic stuff. Except, at the start of this, you couldn't report players, so if you were getting bullied, unfortunately you couldn't report anyone. I guess, since the community back then weren't as toxic as they were now, it's no need to report a player. They recolored this menu and added the feature a couple of years later. So, I guess, in the end, it's nice that you can report players. Now, the current menu that I know of is completely different to this one. I've never seen this one in my life, and honestly, I think it's a console-only one until I saw the L button at the bottom of the screen. But we move on. This menu has icons and more functionalities compared to the previous one. This is nice, it's quite modern. This is the current menu that I know of, and it's just the one from 2020, but a lot darker and slimmer. This has some slight tweaks. Some of the newer UI feels plain and old, and sometimes it can feel lifeless. The older UI had a lot of personality while presenting itself clearly, even allowing guests to speak. Unfortunately, the new UI changes are forever and can't be changed. Unlike this next topic, customizations. We got costumes, we got ducks, we got McDonald's, we even got animals. We got it all! This topic is light-hearted and really depends on what people prefer, but I'd like to look at the significant changes in style, texture, and the depth that the Roblox customizations have had throughout the years, starting with the base Roblox character. Now, as you can see from its design, it has little Lego-like blocks as arms and a bald head. This is a blank canvas of your character. It has a Roblox logo on it. It had different color to show pants and the shirt. This means everyone was the same and equal. I'm sure you could change the color of your characters, but I don't want to say for sure that that's true. I couldn't find at what point characters could get cosmetics, but I did find that hats were added to Roblox around 2007 and onwards. You could get shirts as well, I'm sure. These would just go on your character's torso, and wasn't much in terms of volume to your character, but it was something. For some games, having a shirt could give you bonuses, as they could be tied to extras for some games, as game passes at this time weren't made. I know on my account I have a shirt that says VIP. I had this for games like Lumber Tycoon and Underground War, and all I really got was a stronger chainsaw and a better rifle, though other games would give you VIP, which was just usually access to better stuff depending on the game you were in. Could have been just a tiny room that didn't have much. Customizing your character is a staple in Roblox, and everyone customizes their character somewhat. The older customizations, which was accessible to everyone via ticks, were really made and designed nicely for the time. Usually they have this blocky feel with a low poly texture. It's like playing an old PlayStation 2 game and then seeing those textures on your character. If you look at older cosmetics, they all have a classic feel to them. They're just nostalgic. Not even just for Roblox players, but I'd say for anyone who's played on a console of some sort. If we look at the cosmetics we have now, we have crazy models that provide depth to your character, even changing your character's body. This wasn't uncommon back in the day, during 2011 and 2012 though. Back then, we had body changes, but usually they would just morph your character's design, sometimes adding muscles and tentacles to your character, or just giving them armor. If you wanted to look like that all the time, you'd have to drop money. Money, money, money. You can call me poor, but I don't want to spend hundreds of euros to change my character. All my cosmetics were free with ticks or Robux converted ticks, but now I can't even get new cosmetics without dropping a loan on the latest. I don't even know what this is. Back then, for big bill cosmetics, we had a Dominus. These were just hoods. They usually costed a lot back then, and finding a person wearing this is rare. Finding one now is even more rare. It was nearly impossible to find someone actually wearing this for me back then. They're like limited cosmetics. These are even more expensive. Just searching high to low, we can see 1 billion Robux item cosmetics. Now this is just unreasonable. Obviously there's probably low amounts of them being limited items, so getting one is quite rare, but I really doubt someone would pay this much for an item that's... I don't even know what this is. It's just a crown. And I guess you can have green eyes. This seems really unreasonable for rare items, but that's just for me. Though these items are usually older items. You can get different hats and shoulder pads. The new cosmetics aren't too bad. They're less blocky. They can be quite realistic as well. You can literally dress up as Duolingo on Roblox. Even the baby car. Roblox cosmetics have changed a lot since then. We have cosmetics now that show text that goes right beside your character. Sometimes it can even cover your character entirely. Cosmetics now are better, for the most part. Rounding up the cosmetic changes on Roblox, we can see that there is a vast difference between the old cosmetics and the new cosmetics. And I think the new ones overall are actually better. The marketplace in terms of costs, sometimes they can be a bit too much, but considering the work that someone has probably put into making them, it's most likely fair that they price it at what they've priced it as. Does that sound right? I don't know. The actual gameplay of Roblox. This is difficult to discuss as Roblox games are all somewhat different. If you look at games that were popular back around 2011, we had games like Hide and Seek, Freeze Tag, Paintball, Murder Mystery, and Survive Disasters. These games for me were a staple in my childhood. And this ties back to nostalgia. I really miss logging onto Roblox for just a couple of hours, just to play a few select games. And it was simple. Now, on Roblox, for me, finding a good game to just keep me enticed is difficult. The majority of Roblox games are just the same copy and paste RP game or clicker game. Horror games on Roblox all follow somewhat of the same concept. Tycoon games are now finding ways to be different than the rest. Usually, it's the same concept, which is expected for a tycoon. But making a game with a completely new idea is difficult. So, I'm not surprised that most Roblox games are the same or have been done before. Sometimes though, a new game can feel lazy in their design and gameplay. Most modern Roblox games just don't intrigue me as much, and I know Roblox isn't targeted towards me. It's a platform primarily for children, so I shouldn't be complaining. But Roblox have added 17 plus games for Roblox, so there is a portion of Roblox that is targeted towards a more grown audience. Though 17 plus games on Roblox don't really get much players, as it requires you to show ID, and most people probably don't want to do that or just aren't old enough to play the games. If I were to discuss all the different changes that has happened to Roblox games throughout the years, I would have a long video. Just seeing that they've changed and understanding why they changed is really necessary. Roblox games now are more optimized, even having optimization for console and mobile. Now, not every game has optimization, but even having a select few games is a big step for a software. To conclude, gameplay wise, I miss just playing older games. Even though they weren't well optimized, they were just nice to play. They had their own ways to keep me playing, and weren't as boring. Roblox has changed a lot, and not just for games, players, design, cosmetics, and gameplay. Before I conclude this video, let's talk about the new Roblox Classic event and what I'm expecting from this event. A nice throwback for the players who played around 2009 up until 2018. I have high hopes for this event, and I'm really excited to see what they bring back. Hopefully they remake some old classic games. But with looking at the trailer, it seems like they just have the same ideas they had for the hunt, which I wasn't really too excited for. But I hope this means that they're going to bring back events, specifically event maps like the old classic Easter egg hunts and the holiday events. I hope this isn't just an aesthetic and UI change for some games. If we got that for this event, that would be a bit disappointing. This event could really be big for Roblox if they do it right. This could make some of the community who have never played on the old Roblox interested in bringing back some old Roblox changes or games. Roblox, in my opinion, doesn't need this event, but this event could really bring back an older audience and a community of Roblox players who probably haven't played in years. This would be a great callback for nostalgia and memories for them. I'm really hyped for this event, and regardless of it being terrible or good, I'm gonna play it because hopefully it'll make me feel nostalgic for when Roblox, in my opinion, was at its peak. So at the time of editing the video, the classic event actually came out, so I'm just gonna play it and see what I can find. Really, we have the old footstep sound, it's classic. We have the mouse changed back, it's nice to see. Old explosion effect sounds, the ducks, oh, the old Roblox ducks, how I miss these. Oh, they didn't actually have the guest like tag on the side. Bit of Roblox history right here. No, a microtransaction here and there. This lobby looks pretty nice. I see path givers. Okay, so what do these actually... What is the event tracker? Drink coin, rocket launcher, super ball. Oh, mom's dog. Oh, I see. You just have to go to the games and play them. The majority of these games are all really new though. Yeah, the majority of these games are all pretty new, so this isn't really classic. Out of the games, I'm pretty disappointed. Oh, they brought back some of these. There was a lot more back in the day, but I guess these are nice. Oh. This is the cart ride. Oh, the cart ride. Oh, and I fell. Okay, let's try that again. There's still a lot of these around actually, but they're kind of just meme ones. Pretty sure we have cart ride into Skibidi Toilet, or cart ride into Ice Spice, or a classic one is cart ride into, I think, engine battery, car engine, one of those. Oh, I've gotten the ticks. Oh, that old victory sound. Oh, little emote. Classic emote right there. What does this bring me? Oh, the VIP door. The ghost sword. Can't get the ghost sword. Honestly, this event's pretty similar to the hunt, so I'm a bit disappointed with what they done with it. Just kind of feels like a copy and paste of the hunt, but a lot less games. We only have like how many games we have? I don't know. It just doesn't feel right to play. It's kind of boring. It's nice having all this old aesthetic though. Credit is due with this. They really outdone themselves with this lobby. It is kind of a nice throwback to see this texture. I barely see this texture now in Roblox games. So seeing it now is pretty good. My honest thoughts. Honestly, this whole event is pretty much the exact same as the hunt. It's just a lot less doors. You only have 15 places to visit instead of 100. So I'm a bit disappointed what they done here with the doors. And most of these games are new games that have been made recently. None of these are really classic games. They're just games that are participating in the event. I guess Arsenal is kind of old. This is a bit old as well. But the rest of them are pretty new. So it's kind of disappointing. Yeah, really disappointing. The map though is really well done. I do really like it. All these low poly trees, the mine cart ride into God knows, the path givers, the obby. It's all really nice. Really all well done. But yeah. Other than that, it's pretty good, I guess. That was a lot discussed, and I for sure missed a lot of details when I discussed everything there. All in all, Roblox as a whole changed. The community is different, the gameplay is different, the players are different. Everything has changed so much, and for the most part, changed for the better. Roblox is a growing platform for innovation. Roblox, as of right now, isn't at its final term. It'll keep growing and changing as long as there is a community that provide for it. I'm not the biggest fan of all the changes made to Roblox. I still wish I could go back in time just to relive the experience of playing on a simple software where I didn't require strong intensive hardware. I'll always miss those times playing Roblox with the people I met online. I'll always have a nostalgic feeling when I think of old Roblox, and for that reason alone, I'm kind of glad that Roblox has changed. Old Roblox now wouldn't survive in today's world. With most games being well made, not a buggy mess, and having realistic graphics, and having a constant growing community, it would not survive. So, I guess it's okay to be nostalgic for the past, but it's also okay to accept change, especially for a game that's powering imagination. God, that was a pretty long video, and not what I'm used to making on my channel, really. If you liked it, like, subscribe. Thank you for watching. A big thanks to my girlfriend for proofreading my video, my script, I mean. She helped make sure I didn't have very broken bad English. If you liked the video, obviously give it a like, subscribe to the channel. I don't know if I'll make another one of these, but if it does get enough likes, I'll consider making another video essay. If you didn't like it, dislike the video. Tell me why you didn't like it. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh well. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye.